One thing in particular that most people with ADHD traits have in common is issues with time, with punctuality, with tardiness, getting places on time. I want to show you a few tools that can really help for several different reasons why you might be late. So let's get started. So the first thing we can look at is a box. And this is a pretty hand-painted box. I painted it myself. The reason I wanted it to be pretty is it's right by my front door. And this is an important tool if the reason you're late is you are just habitually about to leave and you're saying, where's my keys? Where's my phone? Where's my watch? Where's my wallet? Whatever small items, or maybe larger ones, and maybe you need a bigger box. If you can keep it right where it's convenient for you to see and grab before you leave, that's how it will keep you from having that one issue make you late. The second tool I would like to show you is one that maybe you haven't seen before, or if you're a musician, you may be familiar with this. It's called a metronome. And this is very good if you're somebody who tends to get very kind of brain foggy, drifty, especially in the morning when you might need to go out or go to work. This can help you with the drift because once you decide your morning activities, moving from one to another and not just sort of vaguely floating around, this will keep you on task. So what I do with this is let her go. It keeps a pace. You can imagine yourself like a robot. You're walking from the bathroom to the bedroom to the closet, put your clothes on. If you want a faster pace, you just move the little dial. Needed to be rewound. Wait, you wind it up first. I was having so much fun playing with this. All right. So you can set it for any pace you want. Just move the little thing up or down. That's a little slower. The point is, it's loud, it ticks, it's very, very regular. It allows you to imagine that you can move robotically and not drift. So you can be a little more brisk with taking as long as you should take on these activities so that you can get out the door in time and not get lost in your morning fog. Now, the next tool I'm going to tell you about is one you've certainly heard of before, a timer. Here's an example of a cute, cool little timer. Timers are excellent for counteracting lateness when you tend to be late because you fall into hyperfocus. Now, hyperfocus is when you are so engaged in an activity that you completely lose track of time. And you might think you're going to work on something for just 5 minutes, and half an hour later you suddenly realize, oh my God, I'm late, because the time just passed and you didn't realize it. When you realize that you have a tendency to fall into hyperfocus like that, if you've ever done that before, imagine that you have a meeting you have to go to. In 15 minutes, you know you have to be out the door. So you set a timer like this, or any kind of a timer. You, of course, can use one on your phone. You might set it for 10 minutes. When it goes off in 10 minutes, you know you have 5 minutes extra to get out the door, but you may need to use the restroom or pull yourself together in some way. Or you could set it for just 5 minutes, and when it goes off, give it another 5 minutes. So that's sort of pulling you out of that hyperfocus little by little. So there's that little timer. There's this one, which is very nice and visual. All you do is push it, and it makes its way to the end. And when it hits the end, it dings. You can't miss that, right? So that's one way to counteract lateness if you tend to get lost in that ADHD hyperfocus state. Here's another useful tool. Little notes. These are Post-it notes. They're nice, they're sticky, they stick on surfaces like doors. The reason you might want to use this is if you have a tendency to be out and you suddenly realize, oh my God, I forgot whatever, and you have to go back and get it, maybe look for it. So if you put a reminder for yourself on the door, maybe the night before that you have to go out, you'll remember it. Lots of times people have said that they forget their lunch. Lunch. Just put it on the door where you can't help but see it. And that will save you from the oops, I forgot syndrome that is so common with ADHD. Now, does your purse or your bag look like this? Do you spend a lot of time looking for things, not sure if you have them? Maybe thinking you don't have them, you're running all over the house looking for them, and then you find out, oh my God, they were in my bag all along. Well, the tool I'm going to show you now is a purse insert, or a knapsack, or a briefcase insert. I got this one on Amazon. There are many, 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 all different kinds and colors and patterns. What I like about this is you can put it down at the bottom of your bag and put things in it on top of it. So let's start with the little stuff. Or maybe we'll start with a wallet. So this is a big wallet. I can just put this right in there. And I've got lots of pockets. I can put my phone in a pocket. Don't have to be scrambling and searching for it. Oh, look at these, my little treats. Well, in the summer, those would have melted all over the bottom of that cloth bag and ruined it. Now I can put them in a pocket here, and these are waterproof. They're like a slick vinyl. What else do we got here? Kleenex. Of course it's going to get crumbled up like this at the bottom of a bag. If you have a little thing of tissues or even some separate tissues and you fold them nice in a pocket, you won't have that problem. I probably should throw that one away. Metro card. More pockets. Put your Metro card in one place. And if you have something like this, it's always good to have one side of the bag, if it's a bag that has a front and a back clearly. Maybe always put things like Metro cards in the same pocket, the same side. Your keys, you might just put them at the bottom. They're not going to get lost in here. Medication can kind of go right in there. Mask, that's always useful to be able to lay your hands on in a hurry. And here's a bigger side pocket you can use as well. Maybe other people's cards that you collect. I tend to collect artist cards at art fairs. So I put them there. And of course, things like pens. Chapstick. I'm going to switch over to this side again. Put the chapstick, put the lipstick in there. The little tooth cleaner thing. Beats flossing. Got the pens, my migraine medication. I'll tell you, when I feel a migraine coming on, I do not want to be searching the bottom of that bag. Little thing like hair pull. All right. And the change, which can now go in the wallet. So there we go. Nice and clean, and allows you to very quickly form habits of always putting things in the same place. So now I can put this inside the bag. Got the same bag here. Oh, boy, all this didn't even come out. This important paper, these are important. Those can go in there. So now I can put this at the bottom if I want to. And it slips in, and you want it to slip so that it's nice and firm at the bottom. There you go. So I can just, I'm not even going to close it because I want to be able to just reach right in and get these things. And then I can just carry my book on top of it, put my sketch pad and my fun little pens right on top of it. Easy. Easy to find anything. Now, these are all tools to be on time, but sometimes people with ADHD learn how to be on time, and they realize they don't really like getting anywhere a few minutes early. because they can't stand to wait for somebody or they can't stand to wait for the meeting to start. Now realize if you're not there a little bit early or at least on time, that means other people are waiting for you. So here's a way to get around that sort of impatient, edgy quality that you have. And this is going to be different for everybody, but this is my tool. It's a sketchbook. I love to sketch, I love to doodle. I like to have a sketchbook and pens or pencil or even a little watercolor set with me in my glove compartment if I'm driving. Whatever you like to do, you could probably have something like that with you all the time. Maybe what you like to do is flip through decorating magazines or any kind of magazine at all. Keep some magazines in your glove compartment. And of course, the obvious solution that everybody has is a phone. You can certainly find something interesting or entertaining to do on your phone while you're waiting just the few minutes to get there to make sure you're not late. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like or subscribe button. And I'm curious to hear what you'd like to hear more about. I'll include a link to some of the items in the description below, and I'll see you next time on Thrive with ADD.